me Stargrove! I want Stargrove!
Hi, this is the Professional Amateur coming to you with another review. This week, I checked out Never Too Young to Die. And this 1986 movie was directed by Gil Beatman and stars John Stamos, Gene Simmons, Vanity, among others, of course. The story of this movie is about this wayward teen who teams up with this female spy in order to stop this Mad Max gang from poisoning the water supply with nuclear waste. But what will happen exactly? Well, you have to watch the movie and find out. Alright, so let's discuss this movie. Well, what works with it? Well, I actually think quite a bit of fun stuff works in this one. It does have John Stamos as like a younger guy as well, and I don't know, I've never seen him that young before, so I did enjoy that. It has Gene Simmons. Now, he's not my favorite guy, but he does do drag in this one, and so he dresses up in drag. And, you know, my favorite movie is like Rocky Horror Picture Show, so seeing something like this just, you know, enthralls me with the whole story. Other than that, there's lots of 80s stuff, like 80s computers, 80s cars, 80s bikes, all that type of stuff is in there. It's actually like pretty funny how it's in there. They keep like trying to get this disc, because on this disc there will be like the codes for poisoning the water supply. But when they finally get it, it's like a floppy disk, and I just started laughing out loud. Maybe I can clip it in here for you. So yeah, there's lots of stuff that just made me laugh in this one, so I certainly had a blast with it. Also, this movie does have an original soundtrack that I really did enjoy. It even gives a theme song to the main character. You know, Stamos, he's the main character, and his character's name is like Stargrove, and so they have this theme song that is absolutely ridiculous. I absolutely loved it. I'll clip it in here for you.
You may like it or not, but all that you find, boy, is all that you got. Stargrove, flying like you never flown. Stargrove.
So it adds this weird touch to it that just made me chuckle throughout the whole thing. In addition, this movie does have this strange kind of contrast with the costumes. You know, with the main bad guy right out of Rocky Horror Picture Show, but then all the gang members are right out of Mad Max. And then the main characters, they are all like 80s style, and it's really ridiculous how these two kind of contrast each other. It's really interesting that way. You know, the Mad Max characters, they are actually never seen inside the city. They're always like out in the desert somewhere. And so that's, I don't know, it's a very interesting contrast to think about, and where they live and what type of society is set up this way. It's all very strange. And other than that, yeah, all the 80s costumes are good. You know, I love that big hair, big shoulder pads. Vanity is looking stunning in all her 80s clothes. So yeah, the costumes were definitely good in this one. You know, with this movie, I don't think I can upsell it enough. I had a blast with it. It has actually quite a few action scenes, so it's not boring that way, and it has lots of gadgets and gunfights and all that type of stuff. And so that was, you know, fun to see. The actors are all doing a fine job, or a fun job, I'll say that. John Stamos being young is quite a delight, like I said. Vanity is stunning, of course. And Gene Simmons, oh, he's just chewing up the set. He is going off. You can tell he is having lots of fun with his character as well. So yeah, just lots of stuff that goes into this one to make it a very enjoyable watch. And that brings me to what doesn't work with this film. Well, probably everything I said in the good half can probably be said in this half. Like I said, there is this very strange contrast between like the 80s and the Mad Max characters. And it's even edited so that they never kind of like really are in the same place at the same time. And so it just kind of makes the contrast more distinct, I would say. And it's very strange that way. Other than that, you know, all of the 80s stuff is very kind of cheesy, you know, with the big hair and shoulder pads and everything else, and the technology as well. And yeah, just makes it for a very corny and strange 80s B movie that I know is not going to be for everyone, but I think there's an audience out there. So who would I recommend this movie to? Well, if you like the 80s and you like B movies, then this should be a good bet for you. As for rating, well, I thought it was delightfully strange, so I gotta give it the good bad score of 4.5. And with that being said, I think that's all I wanted to say, so like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.